today I'm going to teach you guys how to use a kettlebell. We're going to talk about how to do the correct kettlebell grips, and then we're also going to do some exercises. I'm going to teach you 17 different exercises that are commonly done with kettlebells. So you can grab your kettlebell and follow along with me as I go through the grip. There's a few different ways to grip a kettlebell. One of the most common ways is with your thumb and your forefinger, sliding the kettlebell between them in that meaty part of your hand. When you're holding the kettlebell like this, you want to make sure that you're gripping it firmly and that your wrist is nice and straight, that it's not bent over and floppy, that you're holding it up and again keeping a nice firm grip and a nice straight wrist. That's one of the things I'm going to be looking for when I'm grading you in this unit. So again, if you're using this grip, you want to make sure that that's one of the first things you see. You need to make sure that your kettlebell isn't too heavy, or it might be more difficult for you to keep the proper form. Another type of grip is called a horn grip, and for that you're going to grab the kettlebell by the horns. You can do that with the ball up, or a horn grip with the ball down, but again, that is called a horn grip. So going again through some easy exercises, or basic exercises first, we're going to start with something that's called around the world. For this, you do grab the horns, and you kind of alternate what horn you're holding onto, and you simply bring the kettlebell around your waist. We're going to do that 5 times on each side. And then you can switch to the other side. Alright, the next move is called a halo. For the halo, you're going to also grab it with 2 hands by the horns. And for this, you're going to bring the belt around your head. Again, you want to keep your elbows kind of close to your head as well. We're going to do it 5 times one direction and then switch to the other direction. And then again, switch to the other side. Alright, also grabbing by the horns, I like to hold it like this. We're going to do a goblet squat. For a goblet squat, you want to have your legs spread apart a little bit farther than shoulder width, and you're going to squat down, dropping your butt down as far as you can, and then you're going to simply come back up to the starting position. Again, we're doing 5 of those as well. Another move that will be part of your grade is a kettlebell swing. For a kettlebell swing, you most of the time want to start with the kettlebell on the floor. And if for any of you who have been in the weight room before, this is a similar move to a deadlift. You're going to start by bending over, grabbing the kettlebell with 2 hands. You're going to bring it behind your legs, and you're bringing it up to about parallel to the floor. And again, we're swinging it 5 times. You also want to hinge at your hips and kind of squeeze your butt as you bring the kettlebell up to parallel. We also have a move that you can hold by the horns. It's called a squat and press. For this, you're going to keep your stance for your squat a little bit closer with your feet together. You can squat down and press the kettlebell above your head. Again, we want to do that 5 times. For tricep extensions, you can grab the lower part of the horns as well. I like to put one foot in front of the other, bringing the bell behind your head. You can press straight up. Again, we want to make sure that our elbows stay close together. We want to do 5 of those. Also holding the bell by the horns, you can do side lunges. When you do a side lunge, You do want to move your torso forward just a little bit as you step to the side. And we'll do 5 with each side. And then switch to the other side. Alright, in some of your kettlebell workouts, you'll hear instructions to put the kettlebell in racked position. In racked position, you use the kettlebell hold that we talked about first, where you're going to slide your hand in so that it's in the meaty part of your hand. For racking the kettlebell, the bell's going to be behind you and you're going to hold it kind of up between your shoulder and your ear. And one of the popular moves for this position is to do a back lunge. When you do a back lunge, you want to lunge back with the opposite leg from where you're holding the kettlebell, and you can put your other arm out for balance. We're going to do 5 reverse lunges. And then rack the bell on the other side, same thing. Alright, our next move has 2 different ways that you could grip the kettlebell. One of them, you can keep the kettlebell beside you. This is called a windmill. If you want to keep it beside you, your windmill will look like this. A little bit harder of a version is to keep the windmill, again, in this grip position, but over your head. When you do this move, you should feel it in your back and your hamstring. So we're going to do 5 on each side. You can switch your bell position and then 5 on the other side. Alright, before we went over a 2-handed swing, in some of your workouts, there's also a 1-handed swing. So this is pretty much the same movement where you will keep the bell on the floor. It's similar to a deadlift. You're going to pick it up with one hand, bring it behind you, and swing up. Again, we want to hinge at our hips, bending our knees just a little bit, and squeezing our butt at the top. And then you can bring it over to the other side and do the same thing with that side. Alright, next, we are going to do something called a sit-up and press. For this, you can sit down on the ground, and we're going to do a traditional sit-up and add a press at the top. So we'll bring the bell down and then press it over your head. Again, doing 5 of those. The next thing you can do is bend over a little bit with your knee out. That is the opposite one from where your kettlebell is in your hand. You're going to grip the kettlebell as so. Bend over, and we're doing a single arm row. So to single arm row, you want to bring the kettlebell up near where your shoulder is, pinching your back in the middle. And we're going to do 5 on each side. You can switch positions. Again, we want to bring this up high, pinching our back. Another move is called a figure 8. For this, you're going to grip the kettlebell tightly by the horn, and you're passing it between your legs and making it an 8 all the way around. We're doing 5 of those as well. that works your oblique muscles. This is the muscles on the side of your abs. It's called a wood chop. For this, you're going to start with the kettlebell down by your knee. You're going to twist your body and bring it up by your opposite shoulder and up past your shoulder and your head. And you should be using your feet, twisting your whole torso. Again, you should be feeling this in your oblique. You can switch around to the other side. Great, if you sit back down on the floor, an ab move that you can do with the kettlebell is a Russian twist. If you're feeling good and you're in good shape, you can lift your feet off the floor, or you can keep them on the floor. Going back and forth is one. Alright, stand up, we're at our last move. The last thing that we're going to go over is a single leg deadlift. For a single leg deadlift, you want to place the kettlebell in front of you on the ground. You're going to lift with the hand where the kettlebell is, and that foot is also going to stay planted on the floor while your opposite leg comes back. And you're just going to lift it as so. If you need to put your foot down in between to keep your balance, you can, but you should be feeling this in your hamstring right by your butt. We're going to do 5 on each side. And then you can switch to the other side. So same thing again, we're planting the foot where the kettlebell is, using that opposite hand. So the first time I did it with my right hand, this time I'm doing it with my left hand and foot. Again, if you lose your balance, feel free to put your foot back on the ground in between. That's all of the basic moves that we're going to go over today. If you feel awesome and you want to try that one more time, you can go through the whole workout again and do each exercise 5 times again. Or if you're feeling tired, you can spend the rest of the hour walking around the track. See you later.